What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I have an amazing individual. I have Affandy here, and he
What's
was
up?
gracious enough to hop on the channel and share his story. And we're gonna talk and see exactly how things have been going with him. So, Affandy, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man. So, Affandy, okay. So here's probably what everyone's thinking right now. What were your worst symptoms when you were struggling with anxiety?
My worst symptoms, I'll probably say, especially in the beginning, was the panic attacks. I've never really experienced a panic attack before, and so it's kind of scary. And I didn't know how to respond, so I was in my room pacing back and forth. I didn't know how to deal with all this. So, yeah, panic attacks definitely at the beginning, and then I had so many symptoms. And like the worst ones was like I had every time I was eating, I would get this panic sensation, the impending doom. So that would just kill my appetite, and I lost so much weight. And yeah, I think those were the biggest ones that I dealt throughout the journey. Also the sleep was a big thing that I dealt with. Every time I fell asleep, I would get these jerks and jerk awake and get
Mhm.
panic attacks in my sleep stuff. Yeah, so those were the most debilitating ones.
Yeah, yeah. So when you used to eat, you used to feel panic right after you ate.
Yeah, sometimes in the middle of eating and sometimes after. It's so
That used to
weird.
happen to me too. That used to
Right,
same thing happen to me. And I
right,
learned it was from the fight or flight. You were going
right.
in rest and digest, but your body was like, no, back to fight or flight. And you were like,
Yeah.
over it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I lost a lot of weight too. I was curious how much weight did you lose when you were struggling with
Oh,
it?
okay. So I'm from Sweden, so we don't use pounds, but in kilograms, it was a lot. It was like I even told my doctor how much I lost, and she was like, "That's not healthy at all. That's not healthy." Like during the first week, I lost so much weight. I can't remember how much exactly, but dude, I was a stick. Like I was so skinny. Um, but yeah, I just lost all my appetite. I couldn't eat.
Right, right. Did it affect ever like your like quality of life? Like were you still able to work? Like what was going on with school and all that stuff? Like what was going on?
So when this all began, I was still in school with my internship. That's where all this started because I was stressed at work. I was stressed at school. I didn't sleep well. The workplace could be very hectic, and so at that time, I would get these panic sensations at work, and then that's how it started. But after that, that was like kind of at the end of my internship. So luckily enough, it wasn't like in the beginning of my internship. So I was done with for this semester. I was done with school and the internship. So it was during the summer. So I had a summer break, and I dealt with all this during the summer break, with which was kind of nice. That wasn't during like a work period, but at the same time, I missed out on an awesome summer. But it's fine. It's fine.
So okay, so how long were you in the process for? Like how long were you in the cycle for really where you started, where you feel like your recovery journey sort of started? How long were you in the process for?
Ooh, that I think it was like a couple months because
Hmm.
I was on YouTube all the time watching like breathing techniques, success stories from all kinds of YouTubers. And then I
Hmm.
found you, and that's actually when it started kicking off because you were talking a lot about overcoming anxiety. Um, because a lot of these videos mention a lot of coping, breathing techniques and how to go on with life, but at the same time still deal with it, like kind of like cope with it,
Hmm.
which didn't really sit with me. I liked you resonate more with me because you talk about overcoming. And when I started watching your videos, that's when the recovery actually started. And I think I was like 3 months in from struggling and then watching your
Fair.
videos.
That's cool, man. That's good. Yeah, it's amazing that you got in early. I mean, I know
Yeah.
this one still felt like forever.
Oh
It
yeah.
definitely is, and but it's really great, man. What was that? So did you ever have any trouble believing that it was anxiety at all? Because the panic attacks, it's like very physical and stuff for you.
Right. So with me, it was like because it built up during work and stuff, I was like, it's probably because I haven't slept and I've been stressing out so much. This is anxiety. So for
Yeah.
me, it wasn't like, oh, it must be something else. But during there were times, of course, during my recovery, I was like, is this really anxiety? Because I'm feeling a lot of sensations in my belly. That can't be anxiety. There must be something damaged in my belly. And also the sleep. I was like jerking awake. I was like, is there something wrong with my brain? Does my brain not know how to sleep anymore? So yeah, sometimes there were moments where it's like it's not anxiety, but most of the time I was like, okay, no, it is a panic attack. It is anxiety. So I was lucky enough to not, have the fear that it was something else.
Yeah, yeah. My biggest roadblock through the journey was just believing it was anxiety. I
Yeah.
think I was able to respond pretty quick and like get the hang of things pretty fast, but I think
Right.
my biggest issue was, man, it was so physical. Like
Right.
it
Right.
just didn't make sense, like how my digestion and like the,
Yeah.
getting a panic attack while eating, how
Right.
there's not something actually wrong in my, like it just made zero
Yeah.
sense.
It's because it's so physical. It's like, how can this just be anxiety? Because when you think about anxiety, it's like something in the mind, whatever. But it's like so physical. It's like
Yeah.
you kind of sometimes wonder, like, is this really anxiety?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool, cool, man. Yeah, no, I totally get it. I totally get it. So then you joined the foundations
Right.
mentorship. How was your experience there? Like, I know you were working very closely with Kaylee in particular,
Uh,
right?
no, I was just with the foundation spring. Just I mean, I just had the in-depth videos
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that, and
Like
I
submitting
looked at.
questions and stuff. Were
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Yeah.
I was never really in, I think, one of those calls, but like there were so many like coaching calls that I
Okay.
was looking at,
Yeah.
and I love how it was so in depth. It really helped me push myself further into overcoming the anxiety. I mean, the videos that you put out already helped, like on your YouTube channel and stuff. It really helped a lot. And then the foundations program, it pushed me further because it was much more in depth and stuff. So yeah, it was amazing.
That's awesome, man. And you, like I say, you did the work, man. It was great, and
Right.
um, it's really amazing. It's great to like see like the progress and like you being able to come out and stuff. And
Yeah.
so what would you tell people, man, that are like going through this process right now, that are like feeling kind of stuck, maybe like how you were the first 3 months, that just
Right.
feel like they're like really lost, or they're the unique one?
Yeah. So first and foremost, like, don't beat yourself up if you're not like responding the same way that maybe you respond another day, or if you have a hard time responding to symptoms, don't beat yourself up. You'll have more opportunities, definitely more opportunities to respond accordingly. So don't like get frustrated. You'll have more opportunities. And also you kind of touched on it. That anxiety is, or the recovery is, in our own hands, and that's 100% true. Although we can have a lot of guidance and such, coaching and stuff like that will help us, you still have to walk the walk. And I think that it's 100% in our own hands. And I think everyone can recover.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't it weird? I feel like it's so interesting, man, because it's like I hear all the time, like, and I'm sure you heard it on the calls too, where it's like, man, I feel like I'm just like the unique one. I'm just like, man,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And those people get
Yeah.
better, and they're like, oh, everyone can get better.
Right. Exactly. It's like, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
And
So I
it's
was like
true
that.
though. It
Yeah.
really is. Like I think all of us as coaches, I think everyone that gets better, we like truly believe that, because
Right.
we just
100%.
remember how difficult it was.
Right.
And that's
And I
amazing.
was also thinking, like, there were times when I was like, am I gonna recover? Am I doing this right? Am I even gonna, like, is this possible? There's times I was thinking like that, and now I'm like, hell yeah. I'm looking back at it now, like, why was I worrying so much? Like, of course I can recover, and I think everyone can recover.
I agree.
100%.
I always say, like, now, like, I would say like people can recover, and everyone needs different levels of access sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes people can just like figure it out intuitively. Some people can, need books as guides. Some people
Right.
need videos. Some people
Exactly.
like you who just needed foundations
Mm.
crushed it. You like saw the videos, you did the work, and you crushed it. Some people need the mentorship and they need extra guidance. It's
Right.
not so much about that. It's just like you say, you got to put in the work.
Right. Exactly.
And like I said, I always say it's an amazing epic journey. At first you're like, I don't want to do this. I
Right.
don't want to feel this way. I just want to get better. And then, you start understanding, and then you start realizing, yo, this is like an epic journey.
Right.
This is a lot of learning.
It's amazing. I look back now, it's like, I was to think about how much I was struggling, all the ups and downs, and
Yeah.
now just looking back at it, it's like, wow, what a journey. And I'm like 100% wiser as well. Like,
Yeah,
I know much more. Yeah.
man. I know. And it's gonna keep giving more. You'll see. Like as you're
Right.
getting better, it's just there's gonna be more things you're gonna learn about just yourself. It's not even anxiety now.
Right.
It's like
Exactly.
not even anxiety. It's just you. And it's like I say, it's fun, man. Dude,
Right.
funny, man. That's great. Is there anything else you would want to say to people watching the videos right now that feel like, they're stuck and stuff like that?
I would say just stay consistent. Like I said, even though you don't maybe have days that you don't respond as well, just stay consistent with like move on to the if you have you'll have more opportunities to just keep responding. Um like I had so many days where I couldn't respond well, even though after watching your videos and knowing how to respond, there were days it was like I was struggling still to respond, especially setbacks. Setbacks were really tough. Um, but just keep going at it. Just trust me, like you'll come at the top at the end. Um, so yeah, don't get stuck on something. If you're stuck on something, don't beat yourself up for it. Just yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
Consistency.
And one of the things I love what Affandy's saying is really he's talking more about the response. It's like that's the only thing you need to focus on.
Exactly.
The symptoms, when the symptoms are higher, it's harder to respond, right? And like,
Mm,
that's what we're mentioning. And the symptoms get easier. It's not that difficult. So you went through the journey, man. Very proud of you, dude. I'm so glad.
thank
And
you.
I appreciate you reaching out. And um, you and I are somebody, we're gonna be staying in touch, especially with,
Yeah.
all the big changes that are happening in the mentorship. Would love to keep you a part of it, man. But more importantly, dude, I really appreciate you hopping on the channel and sharing your story. It's other people will really resonate with what you're saying, and they'll really like experience, and they'll be like, yo, I went through that too. And so you're kind of, a little beacon of hope now. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Loved it.
Cool, cool. Well, I hope this video helps, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.